Hello, and I'm Luke Tomato, and welcome to a very special Pneumonia edition of Luke's News with me, Luke Tomato. We've got a full week, haven't we? We have, yep. We begin our news week on our own shores in Australia. Malcolm Turnbull has once again reiterated his decision not to back former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd for the job of UN Secretary General. This coming after he refused to back two men in a horse costume for the Melbourne Cup. Pauline Hanson has defended Donald Trump, saying Trump's comments are no worse than what every man says behind closed doors. Clearly having heard the things people say about her behind closed doors. Nationals MP Andrew Broad announced he would withdraw his support from the government if it didn't use a plebiscite to bring about changes to the Marriage Act. He also claimed his involvement with the government was conditional on the fact that he received weekly back rubs, 3 packets of Tim Tams and a cheeky peck on the cheek from Malcolm Turnbull. Two of Australia's biggest bookmakers plan to merge as they try to compete against the rise of online betting. Tabcorp and Tats Group, the country's largest non-casino gambling firms, hope to form a business worth $11.3 billion. But the deal needs to be scrutinised by regulators and approved by shareholders of both companies. Sportsbet.com are offering 3-1 on the regulators ratifying the merger, while Bet365.com are offering 2-1 odds on the merger doing piss all to combat online betting. Australia has rejected claims that it is guilty of torture on Nauru and has threatened to break the arm of anyone who says that again. Reports have shown that cases of overseas Australian tourists arrested or hospitalised for bad behaviour has increased significantly in recent years. If this trend continues, we expect groups of 10, 11 or higher wearing budgie smugglers falling foul of Muslim fundamentalism. It's a lot harder to do with pneumonia than I'd imagined. I have it too. Yeah, I know, The eldification of Australia continues as Coles trials a new tough low-price booze seller. Liquor Market, which is selling alcohol cheaper than any other Coles-owned store in response to Aldi's cut-priced alcohol, has been dubbed the Aldi of booze by news organisations. Local man Gaz Williams, coincidentally dubbed the Pol Pot of booze, is believed to be bloody stoked with the decision. Environmental efforts to save the Great Barrier Reef are expected to be stepped up as research this week has shown that the reef is suffering extreme stress and edging towards its demise at an alarming rate. Now, I think we can all relate to that one, can't we? Yep. Let's head overseas now, in particularly to the US, where studies this week have shown that many teachers are apparently working around 60 hours a week, yet many still find the time to awkwardly run into their students in public. Also in the US, we saw the emergence of a group called MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way, an anti-feminist group who are deciding to swear off women for life. They claim that women distract them from their true desires, like expressing creativity, progressing in the workplace, and sucking cock. Police in the Philippines have been warned not to pick their noses while on duty, it's reported. They've also reportedly been banned from pulling funny faces in case the wind changes. Thailand's king died this week, aged 88. His passing means that Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom has now become the world's longest-serving monarch. Gotta keep your eyes on the prize, King Bhumibol Adulyadej. The Great British Pound has slumped to a 168-year low, but that's what you get for tying your currency to East Asian royalty, I suppose. But with the pound slowly creeping towards the Aussie dollar, Australia is looking forward to enjoying parity with Great Britain in something other than a 92% white population, #factually accurate. Bob Dylan has been awarded the 2016 Nobel Prize in Literature, and he announced his plans to compete next year for the physics category, but he's once again likely to lose fans by moving towards working with electricity. There's a little joke for the Bob Dylan fans there. What? Can you please just not do this here? Sorry. The Netherlands has announced they may extend assisted dying to those who feel life is complete. However, they are denying applications for euthanasia from people who haven't yet tried the Dutch delicacy Hollandse Nieuwe Haring, citing, "You have not truly lived until you try Hollandse Nieuwe Haring." More news out of the Netherlands as police investigate possible government corruption from the Hollandse Nieuwe Haring Society of the Netherlands after noticing a spike in the Dutch delicacy's frequency in government legislation. The British government has this week conceded that marijuana has a medicinal effect. They went on to concede that Bob Marley is perhaps the greatest musician ever and that the sandwich is perhaps the greatest thing ever. Kenyan farmers have begun using bees to protect crops from elephants. This comes less than 2 weeks after bees were placed on the endangered species list. Now, I'm no bee expert, but I think this could be related. Pakistan has been ranked the 4th most unsafe country in the world, just outside the medals. In China, the last known prisoner to be held for taking part in the Tiananmen Square uprising of 1989 has been released. Miao Deshun was fed pig food, routinely tortured, and placed in solitary confinement. He described his involvement in the protest, for which he served 27 grueling years, as not really worth it. Despite trying to avoid politicizing the ratio of food in recipes, government officials have confirmed cabbage is 9/10 of the slaw. Ecuador has cut off Julian Assange's internet connection. It's believed Assange went way over his data cap for the second month in a row, and Ecuador had just had enough. He's also been reportedly denied dessert for at least a week, potentially longer. In England, 2 imposters made their way onto the Team GB buses that were parading the streets of Manchester to celebrate the team's performance in the 2016 Rio Olympics. That made 4 imposters total, alongside Chris and Gabrielle Adcock, Team GP's mixed doubles badminton duo, who once again failed to medal in the Olympics. Donald Trump has called the American electoral system rigged after finding himself down in the polls. This came alongside accusations from the presidential nominee that the lottery was rigged, the board game Monopoly was rigged, and that Betty Jefferson, his high school crush that wouldn't make out with him at prom, was also rigged. And a gorilla this week escaped his enclosure at London Zoo and wandered the park, sparking widespread panic and an evacuation across the zoo. After he was safely returned to his enclosure, 18-year-old Kambuku's mum said that she was worried sick but is relieved to have him home. Kambuku has, however, since been grounded. The UAE's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has this week filled his private plane with $354,000 worth of supplies and sent it to hurricane victims in Haiti. People inspired by the story and wishing to do the same thing via Jetstar have been advised not to, as $354,000 will only get you 25 kilograms of extra check-in luggage, 45 minutes of in-flight entertainment, and a mini tin of Pringles. And now, for some entertainment news. That's right, and you haven't written me very much of it, have you? In entertainment news, Leonard Cohen in the last week has announced to the world that he's ready to die. This coincides with English outfit The Last Shadow Puppets covering the legendary folk singer song Is This What You Wanted? I'm not saying the two are connected, but I've heard the cover and it abso-fucking-lutely is. Negotiations between the newest celebrity power couple Vanessa Carlton and the Proclaimers have progressed after both parties realised that rather than both of them taking it in turns walking 1,000 miles, they might in fact be better off meeting halfway. And finally, originally meant as a harmless rhyming gimmick, organisers of the reality show The Porcupine and the Concubines quickly saw a spike in live-in mistresses. Get it? Yeah, I get it. That's pretty funny. That's all. That is all we have time for in Luke's News with me, Luke Tomato, and our entertainment anchor. Join us next week where hopefully we won't have pneumonia.